Phones are everywhere, in our hands, in our pockets, and definitely in our classrooms. But now, Missouri lawmakers are trying to change that. A new bill introduced in the Missouri State Legislature could ban phones entirely during the school day, across every public school in the state. So, we asked the people who this bill would impact the most: students, teachers, principals, and district leaders. What do they think? And what could this bill mean for our schools?
I don't think phones should be banned from our school because I think it is important to stay connected with everybody in our school.
I think that it's like a yes and a no, because there's lots of extra distractions that you can be distracted by when you're on your phone at school. And I feel like it'd be better to just be in the moment for a lot of things. But it's also I think it is a safety hazard to not have your phone, because I don't know, there's lots of reasons. If there was someone in the school that could harm us, we need to be able to have our phones, and I think there's just lots of different reasons why we would need to have our phone on us.
If you're talking about an entire ban, I don't think so. There's a time and place for phones to be used. We have an open campus. You should have your phone on you if you want to during those times. But in class, that's a different story.
At Clayton High School specifically, I have a hard time imagining a phone ban because we're an open campus, and it would be a lot of extra steps to go in and out of monitoring who has the phone, where is it kept. So I have a hard time imagining it. It's beyond me to make that ban, but I just logistically have a hard time imagining it.
I don't know that a total ban is necessary, because I do think they have some valid educational purposes. I mean, one of the things that we have really worked to do is, I mean, I guess the tide has really kind of changed actually on that, because we were trying to be really proactive about it years ago, about how we incorporate technology into the classroom. And so in certain courses, we'll use them for timers in science class, or video for stop motion, actually data collection in labs. In our digital photography classes, I know that they use them in a lot of ways. I know that our journalism classes, I get interviewed quite a bit actually, and a lot of times students will use their phone actually to record the interview. But so I think there's some legitimate educational purposes, but I mean, I do think they can be a distraction, and so I think that the guidelines and policies that we've put in place this year, strike a good balance that way. So the expectation is that they're not out in class unless there's a defined educational purpose that the teacher is directing for that to be the case. So I think that there's an element of practicality for it. Also, we have an open campus, so people are kind of coming and going throughout the day. So there are some logistical things there, but I think for the most part they should be put away. But I think there are also reasons why it makes sense to have them available.
So I think anytime when we talk about devices or cell phones, we always have to make sure that we're balancing our thoughts, right? So besides also just using the benefits of technology, we also have to consider the challenges. Earlier this school year, we actually talked a lot as a community about cell phones, and basically from K through 8, we have restricted cell phone uses throughout the day. And then at the high school, we've restricted cell phone uses during classroom instruction time. We can still use it during open campus and passing periods, right? So really, it depends how the legislation is going to end up being written. Right now, it's saying that each school district gets to come up with their own policies. So based on that, I think we're actually in pretty good shape and ready to move forward with it. It's again going to depend on what the actual legislation makes us do.
Yes, because sometimes parents come and pick you up randomly during lab or during our lunch period, and they don't know where you are, so they need to be able to text you.
Yeah, because people have to use Apple Pay if they don't bring their wallet to pay for their food, or just going out. So if they don't have their key card, someone can let them in if they have their phone, so they can text their friends.
I think
if like phones were taken away for the whole day, I think that would also affect like the open campus and would like take that privilege away, because without your phone and going like outside somewhere without it, that's first of all like not very safe, but also it's just like harder because a lot of people like do need it like outside to like use it for their wallet or whatever. It's just, I don't think it's very practical.
Now, it would depend on how it goes into effect. I also think that back in the day when the students were required to use their lockers here, you could then be required to have your cell phones in your locker, so that if you needed to check your phone during a passing period, you have that time during open campus free periods, you can go back to your locker, pull your cell phone out and do whatever you need. But in the classroom, backpacks, cell phones will all be in your lockers. So I don't think it would affect open campus, because before you leave campus, you could go to your locker, take your cell phone and be done with it. They would just have to start instituting more consequences for if you're caught in classroom with your cell phones. Then you'd have to probably serve lunch detentions, same the way you would if you had like 3 tardies, things like that, just to, because you really can't, have a pat down every time the students come in through the front door to make sure your cell phone's not on you. You still have to have that type of self-accountability on the student's behalf as well.
I don't know that it would fundamentally impact open campus. I think that one of the arguments that folks will make about making sure that students have ready access to cell phones is the in case of an emergency kind of argument, and parents wanting to be able to get in touch with their kid, and kids wanting to get in touch with parents, like in a time of crisis of some sort. And I think there's some merit to that, but I think we have to balance how we do that. But in terms of actually open campus, what I would also, frankly, what I would hate to see actually is that, like, if we, like, because I believe in the open campus and what we do with the open campus. What I would hate to turn this into is if we vilify cell phones to like have 100 students across the street on their free period or during lunch on their cell phones, actually kind of like the old smoking areas, actually that they did years ago. I think that's excessive, actually, if you ask me. But so I could see that impacting open campus in that way, I guess, and if you play that out.
That's a great question as well. So I'm thinking, anytime as a community we've had to make any kind of decisions, we've been very thoughtful about what we do. One of the things, the great benefits about open campus out of the high school is we want our high school students to experience that independence, but we also want to make sure that they're safe and they have communication methods. So I think about our open campus, and we've had it for years. I don't know exactly the number of years we have, but my guess is we've had it even when we didn't have cell phones, or at least that they weren't as prevalent. So for me, I don't see it being that huge of an impact on open campus. However, we may have to like change or adapt a few things here and there, but overall, I don't see it being a major impact on open campus.